I really, again, want to thank them for the time and energy they put into this. We had an outstanding field of candidates, not just the ones that arrived on campus, but through the search process of bringing in resumes and a lot of different approaches and a lot of different things you find in the search, but it really came down to 4 gentlemen that came in on campus, each one unique in their skill set and what they could bring to the university. And I think, you know, as we went through the process, one gentleman rose to the top that I thought was, if I had to sum it up, was the ideal fit, best fit for our situation currently and our situation moving forward. I think it's an exciting time for QU football. We're moving into a new phase for the program, going into Division II, into the Great Lakes Valley Conference, and I was very pleased that Coach Tom PAJIC accepted our offer and is ready to go. I wanted to mention a couple things about Tom, and then really you're here to hear him today, not me, but just a couple of highlights. You know, I look at Tom, and Tom has been a long-time assistant, a lot like myself, and I think Quincy University, when you talk about fit, a lot of times that's what we get started here at Quincy University, a good, eager, and enthusiastic coach that has everything a head coach has, and only lacking one thing, and that's been the opportunity to prove it. And I think Tom is certainly in that mold, as many of our coaches in the coaching staff in our department have come through that way. But 18 years in college coaching, last 8 as the offensive coordinator at Bloomsburg. Their record at Bloomsburg in that time, 75-19, making the playoffs 4 times, including a quarterfinal appearance in the NCAA National Tournament in 2008. Offenses have averaged 30 or more points 5 times at Bloomsburg, and his offense has been ranked in the top 10 in rushing in NCAA 6 times in Division II. And what's really, I think, unique is he's coached 3 Harlan Hill finalists, and Harlan Hill is the Division II version of the Heisman Trophy, and he's been fortunate to coach 3 of those players at Bloomsburg and whatnot. So without further ado, I am proud and pleased to introduce our new head football coach for Quincy University, Coach Tom PAJIC.
Well, thank you, and good morning. It's a great day for me and my family, hopefully the same for Quincy University. It seems like when you get hired across the country, everybody has a story to tell. Well, I too have a story to tell. It's unbelievable when you see Division I coaches and sometimes the things that occur and they go through to get to that first step and that first day. I had a 2-hour drive from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania to Philadelphia International Airport. That took me 7 hours, in which I left at 12. I got the call actually at 11, trying to get some HR things completed, the contract signed and faxed back. My wife said, get home and pack. Yeah, that won't be much of a big deal. Well, it was, because I had to pack for a week and didn't figure that part of it. I left at 12 on time, had a sandwich, and I was be there by 2:15. They closed the Northeast Extension in northeast of Pennsylvania, obviously. It's like closing Route 70 for 8 hours. And I thought to myself, well, if this picks up a little bit, I'll be there by 4 o'clock and be able to get on the 4:25 flight. Well, I wasn't even close. I barely made the 7:25 flight. So I get there. My wife told me original place to park. I called her back. That's changed. Pull it up. I'll park the car. Get your luggage because you're going to be late. They might not checking in. Pulled the big luggage. She was like Hercules. She took my 70-pound bag out of the back of the trunk and, you know, brought it in. I ran in, make sure I had everything, took a breath, and ran on in. And I get to the desk, and the lady said, well, I can't check it. It's too late. She just pulled away with the car. I said, okay, put it on the flight tomorrow. You have to accompany your bag tomorrow. Well, I have to be there tonight. Okay, I'll tell you what, leave it here, put it in security. We can't do that. So then I become speechless. Okay, I have no options here. None. Call your wife. Last thing I thought, I called her. She pulled out of the parking spot, pulled back around, threw the bag in the car. She parked it. I went in, found the B gate, ran to my mom and dad as we're boarding the plane. And I said, okay, this is a family thing. I'm not getting on that plane unless I see my wife coming down the way. So I see this Avis commercial, my wife without her shoes on. Just took them off at security, and she's running, and I right then I knew we were going to make the flight. And because of her frequent flying across the country with what she does, it wasn't her first rodeo, and we made it, and we're here, and that's the bottom line. I'd like to thank Dr. Gervasi. It was a great interview process. Really enjoyed the time here, and I thought it was as well oiled as it could have been, with your athletic director being the head basketball coach as well. Marty, I will never want your job, so don't worry about that. Marty Bell did a great job. It was a class act interview process, timely fashion, to the best of his ability. And I'm excited to work with Marty, because that's how I think it's going to be. He's going to be alongside of our program, helping our program, just like I believe he's helped all the programs here. And I think that's the sign of a great leader, a great servant leader, and a person that wants to see all the student athletes here become better and advance for a great college positive experience. His staff, Rob Mallory. Rob, I appreciated the 4-hour trip. I appreciate you being the pickup guy. And I'll tell you, I told my wife those 4 hours went by like it was 2 minutes, because we talked the whole way, and I really appreciate that. Danielle, great meeting you, obviously. I know with 2 men in that administration part, it's not easy with Marty and Rob meeting those guys. But to make maybe your job a little bit easier, thinking some of the things hats I have to wear in this program, I think I'm going to be the guy solely in charge of academics. I can coach special teams, I can coach the offense, I can be the recruiting coordinator, but I think the number one key for me here is to be the head coach of the academic program. So there won't be a GA, there won't be an assistant, it will be me on a daily basis, interacting and figuring out, where our students stand, how they can become better, and what avenue it's going to take us to get there. So hopefully that'll ease your mind a little bit. Don't know if you've had that in the past, but I feel that's the most important thing. And I think that'll ensure our success down the road. Obviously, the athletic coaches, when I met in the meet and greet conference, I felt like I was at home. And that was a big part of the decision here. You're getting, as I told those guys, Team PAJIC. My wife, obviously married in 2004, happily married, great relationship, and I'm excited for us. Gracie, 7, Tommy Jr. 5. So you're going to get all of us, and that's important. Talking to Jack and some of the elder people here that have been in the area, community's big for me. That's very important. I'm coming from a great environment, conducive to my family, conducive to my profession. And I feel I'm getting the same thing here, and I'm excited to do that. Father John, I enjoyed our conversation. Everybody asked me how the interview process go. I said it was fantastic. Long day. Sometimes I thought it was never going to end. And I said, hey, one of the parts I had a chance at an enjoyable conversation with Father John. I said, if you can't talk to a guy in a robe, you can't talk to anybody. So that went really well, and I enjoyed that process. Tiffany, we had a chance to meet as well. Obviously, student affairs is a big part of what we do, because our student athletes are the face of the community and of the university. With probably 450 of them and a 1,200 student population, we're very visible, and that's very important. So we will certainly make sure we're doing everything from a day-to-day standpoint that puts our student athletes in the best possible light. Cindy, obviously with admissions, we're going to be walking hand in hand. We're going to run all of our recruiting through the admissions department, a ton of day visits, and we're going to bring a great caliber of student athlete here on campus. It's going to be a partnership. Tom PAJIC is not going to be the sole answer to changing the culture of this program. It's going to take all of us. I'm going to have to rely on everybody in this room, because that's how we're going to get forward, and we're going to do it together. And if I thought it was otherwise, then I wouldn't have any chance at any success at all. So it was a great interview process. It was wonderful. Enjoyed meeting everybody. Donna, the secretaries, Julie. That was great. Again, that's part of it. You guys interviewed me, and there are the things that I wanted to speak to people other than what I was doing in football. And it was a great environment. It reminded me of home. And I appreciate the rain and the darkness, because it's a beautiful day, because sometimes you get that in Pennsylvania a lot. We joke about that. But hey, every day is a great day. And after yesterday, it just goes to show you the best laid plans. You got to do the best that you can, and you take what the good Lord above gives you, and you move on from there. Seems like the interview process is still going on. I'd like to, address my family. I would not be standing here before you if I didn't have the support staff that I've had my whole life. And I can stand here before you to acknowledge that. The family is what's gotten me here. My dad, I learned tremendous work ethic. You were a tremendous mentor, and I learned everything from you. I've had great ones, great people, but no one like you to show me that no job is too small for who you are or where you aspire to be. The work ethic that you have, the sacrifice you've had for our family. When I was at the University of South Florida, I remember standing in our apartment at the window. My wife had gotten a promotion. I was the Division I assistant coach, making great money. Before I left, I had a chance to interview with Walt Harris at Pittsburgh. I interviewed for 8 hours, standing. I never thought I could do anything for 8 hours like that. So my opportunity was going to be great. I was on a track to, aspire to do different things at the Division I level. I was torn whether I should leave or not. I was all over the board. And I remember my dad just, at the end, the last day, hey, son, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. But you've always known that family's the most important thing. And at that point in time, I was engaged, about to be married, wanted to have a family, and at that point in time, the world had dropped off my shoulders. And it was an easy decision. We decided to go to Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania. And Dad, I appreciate everything you've done for me. Your sacrifices have been unbelievable, and I've worked hard to follow in your footsteps. And the one thing I always take pride in is, your name is PAJIC, and that is my name. And I've worked hard to keep that polished and pure. And therefore, I named my son Thomas Anthony PAJIC Jr. So maybe one day, he can be proud of me in that name as I am as of you. Mom, you sacrificed so much, your faith and your hope, and you will certainly be at the pearly gates in the #1 spot. And there's nobody better. And the encouragement, the faith, to walk by faith and not by sight, I've learned all that from you. How all this goes in the future, I will do my best to make you guys proud, to make the community proud, the university proud, because that's the only way I know. We're going to do it the right way. I remember sitting outside of the gym in high school with the last guy standing because it was a Catholic high school, and they locked the doors. They wouldn't even let me in as a senior. I had to sit outside in the winter months, and there came Mom, 2 headlights, about a 35-minute, barring traffic commute. We lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It was a 35, van commute. My sister had gone there previously ahead of me, so I followed in the footsteps to a great basketball program. I wound up being better in football, but I had great mentors there, and I can remember sitting there and knowing that you had worked a full day, and we had dinner to take care of, and you would always be there for me. And I appreciate that, and I love you both. My beautiful wife, this kind of turned full circle for us. I left for you for a promotion, walk by faith, not by sight. I knew family was important. I knew you were the lady that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, and there we turned and went to Bloomsburg University. Got married in 2004, and she's been everything to me, and behind every great man is a great woman, and there's no change here. We have 2 beautiful young kids that she's done a great job. I say I've done a great job, but she is an executive. She is a soccer coach. She is a husband. She is a mother. She's involved in the school. She flies around the country. And the balance that she has is unbelievable. And I love you so much, and thank you for, this was a family, this wasn't Tom PAJIC. Hey, Marty, listen, I'm going to take this job. This was, Hun, what do you think? What do you think? How do you want to go about this? You think we can do this, make this? Is this the right thing? This is what I know. Tell me what you know. We're leaving a great support staff, we're leaving our family, but at the end of the day, we found a lot of support and a lot of peace with our decision. And she's our #1 fan. She's going to be involved in our program. Our kids are going to be involved in the program like it was at Bloomsburg, which was very conducive from our head football coach. So, Hun, we're going to make it work. It's going to be a great transition. She is tremendously excited. They're going to wind up leaving here shortly. They have to probably get out here for 10:30 for a 1 o'clock flight, or a 2 o'clock flight, I should say. So it's not her first rodeo, so I know she'll make it. She got me here after last night's episode. I have ultimate respect and faith that those guys will make it home safely, and they're in the best travel agent in the world. So I love all you guys, and thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I've always dreamed this day would come, and I wanted to make sure you guys were here to enjoy it, alongside of me. So thank you. I've had great mentors. Danny Hale. There's no finer man in college football at Bloomsburg University. He is more concerned about my welfare and my family's welfare than he is as an assistant coach for him. On Halloween, my kids come in, he shuts the film off, and we're preparing for a game, and my kids are all dressed up, and he comes in, and he's 63 years old. He gets on the floor, and he greets them. That's unbelievable. There's no price you can put on that. He's taught me many things about student athletes, many things about people. He's the dean of Division II. There's I think Northwest Missouri State is maybe one school, maybe a couple others that have more wins than us in the past decade. What he's done has been unparalleled. I need to take a piece of him, with me and what I've learned. very important. Barry Streeter at Gettysburg. I took a job for $2,500, slept in a walk-in closet, shirt and tie, meal card. The best job I ever had. Best job I ever had. Because he was a great man. He was a great family man. He understood what it was all about. Nick Guattaro is now in North Texas. He was at the Fordham University. Apologize to the Franciscans, Jesuit institution. I know Dr. Coffey would be proud of that, his alma mater. I've been blessed. I've been blessed. So many people have been part of my life to get me to this point. And that's how it works. It's about people. Nothing more, nothing less. Very excited time to be here. It's a new era. It's the beginning of a new era. I spoke to the 7 a.m. football squad this morning. They're involved in finals. They're involved in heading home. That was very important in this process, I know, for Marty and me as well, because those guys, as I told my wife, how did it go? Well, I thought it went well until, Tiffany reminded me, and Julie said, well, it was kind of early. Maybe they weren't paying attention. It could be very well been. So thanks. You brought me down just a little bit more, and I thought I hit a home run, but I'm not sure. But it went well. They were like my son and daughter looking for help. It was a transition. And those kids looked to us as parents. I can see it in their eyes. They were all attentive, eye-to-eye contact. They were looking for a fresh start. And that's good. Transition is good. Change is good. A little nervous, not sure, but it's good. And I just spoke to them like I was basically speaking to you guys. It's going to be done with a family orientation. It's going to be team chemistry. We're going to do it together. I had the seniors stand and said, this is your last hurrah. We're going to make this the best experience we possibly can for you. And then you guys have to invest to get everybody else to invest. We're going to go and be successful as fast as everybody invests in what we're trying to do. That's community service, that's academically, that's football related. That's all the above. See, football is going to take care of itself at the end. I like to think I'm good at what I do. I like to think I'm going to hire a good staff, men of character, men of integrity, because this is a job where you have a direct impact on young men and their lives. And that's why I coach college football. That's the biggest reason. And I'll never forget some of the situations I've had already here with the guys I've talked to. That was my first. And whether he was a starter or whether he was a walk-on or whether he wasn't sure if he was coming back, I had a chance to influence his life at that time immediately. And that's why I'm here. Just a young man and I stand in this empty room at about 7:40. And hopefully I could say enough just to give him a little bit of hope to change his life forever. Because that's all you need, just a little bit of hope. And that's very important. Love and discipline, very big. Players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we're going to work very hard, very passionate. We have to find our way. We're a little lost right now. And it's a 365-day process. So you have a chance to go home, regroup, have a great Christmas, great New Year, finish up academically well. And as I told them, my son's karate class, part of their ritual, part of their pledge. The sensei would say, what is the main part of self-control? Focus your eyes, focus your mind, focus your body. At the end of the day, go home, regroup, adjust your attitude, understand that your college experience is only that. You only have 4 years to get straight A's and to be an All-American. That's our goal, academic All-American. A great football player in poor grades, not acceptable. A great student and a potential football player that's not reaching it, that's unacceptable as well. And if we're both great academic All-American, what have we done in the community? We have to give back to the great game of football that I have been so blessed to be a part of. It's about giving back. It's about caring as a cornerstone of success. Had a chance to finish up. I asked any questions, none. Wished them all well for Christmas, New Year, and I'm looking forward to getting started when we get back. January 9th, we'll have a team meeting, and then we'll go into winter workouts, and we'll start relationship building, one guy at a time. One guy at a time. Well, I think that's it for me. Any questions, Brian? I'll open it up for questions.
We'll open up to the room for any general questions, comments.
Tom, I would ask you, being a career assistant that you've been, this is your first head coaching position. What does this day mean to you from a football coaching standpoint to land a head coaching gig?
Well, as it was so hectic yesterday, running around cleaning my office out and talking to Marty on the cell phone, and Dana in Human Resources, she's been fantastic. I even got mixed up with, time change. I think I called her at 7 in the morning one time, figured she'd be in the office, and she was probably at home having a cup of coffee, and the fax came through, Ben. I was sitting there reviewing it, and I stopped looking at it, and I said, wow, that's today. Today's December 13, 2011. A day I'll remember forever. And that's a chance for me to take the next step and the next progression, in my coaching career. Little did I know what was going to come after that. So there was a big day there that will go down as, again, many lessons for me. I had a chance to, I kept our head coach and our athletic director involved the whole time, and that was a very difficult time. Danny Hale was like a second father to me and a mentor, and it was very emotional. And he was probably shocked, Coach, I'll be back. I'm getting on a flight, and I'll see you soon. But for me, it's a great day. It's a chance for me to make my mark. A chance for me to, everything I've learned, I can put together, take pieces from everything, my family life, my parents, my friends, my high school coaches, other coaches that I've worked for, and then spin it the way I need to spin it and put my mark on it with academics, with recruiting, with what I want to do offense, defense, and special teams, with what I want to do in the community. It's my first chance to be an ambassador for Quincy University in this football program. So I'm ecstatic. I'm excited to do it. Just like I told my guys, that's nice to say, my guys, my team. I need to focus my eyes, my mind, and my body because I have recruiting. I have to re-recruit the guys on campus. I have to go out and recruit. I have to build a staff. I have to meet with HR. I got a lot of things to do, but I'm going to take one day at a time. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to take one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and we'll go from there. And we'll work diligently and efficiently to get those things done.
Tom, you mentioned when I talked to you earlier, ground floor was the thing that kept coming to your head, through your head. Nowhere to go but up. Did you relay that to the players this morning?
I did. I said, in a unique way, hey, it's a new era. I'm your new coach. You're new players. Great Lakes Valley Conference, new league for football, 2012. Chance to win a championship. Chance to go to the postseason play in your region. Make a run at that. You can only be the first at one thing. This is the first. This is the first year of NC2A football and doing those things. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. You can only control your destiny with today. We're going to win the day, I told them. We're going to win the day. You can relate that to everything, not only football. We're going to TCOT, take care of today. We're going to win the day. And when we go to sleep at night, we're going to look in the mirror and we're going to say, did you do everything you possibly could to have success today? If you didn't have success, but you did it, you can live with that. You can lay your head on the pillow and live with that. That's very important. So yeah, it's a ground floor. I think the newness. Again, I saw those kids looking back at me with a hunger. Love and discipline is going to be tough. And I can see them asking for it with their eyes. It's not always easy getting there. But just like society today, we need that. We don't have a lot of that. And they'll fight you tooth and nail all the way to the end. But at the end of the day, they'll have conformed, and they knew that was the best thing for them. So I think the change is good, Matt. I think the newness is good for anybody. And we're going to figure it out one day at a time.
When you sit in the living room with potential recruit and their parents, what's the first thing you say? How do you get them to be a Hawk?
They're going to entrust their son to me, and I know that. That's the most important thing. To earn their trust, build relationships, great liberal arts school in a private setting, newness. You have a chance to come in here and play. If we're not that good, so there's opportunity there. Again, great Franciscan institution, small campus, small class size, one-on-one learning, opportunity to win now. It's new. So it's not like you've won 7 national titles in a row or conference championships. Those kids are hard to recruit because you have a system, and when you're there, it's a different way to recruit, selective, and they're going to feel that out depth chart-wise. But I think it's selling the program, selling the university. I like to think that's a great trait of mine. I'm going to hire staff that can go into the homes and the high school coaches. Because at the end of the day, it's about that. They want to feel like, you know what? I always tell my nephew Stephen, and I tell my brother-in-law, he's a great math kid. Went to Trenton, New Jersey for some contests for math, and 5 kids in the state in 7th grade to be honored. And he's going to have an avenue. But at the end of the day in recruiting, you're going to get bombarded by a ton of recruiters. At the end of the day, who do you feel like you can trust? Who do you think are telling you the truth? And where do you feel most comfortable? And I think that's the selling point. I think that's what we sell. We sell football, chance to play. It's new, first time. Have a couple kids from your high school maybe, want to bring some more, ask them of their experience, ask them what their excitement is. You know, same thing with the high school coaches. It's the same concept. I got to go and spend time with them as well as recruit with them. And it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be, week or two. It's going to take time. But that's the key. I think it's forging relationships. I think it's the home visits. I think it's the one-on-one. And like anything else, you feel comfortable, you make good decisions.
Tom, when you left here last week, flew home, what were you thinking?
Great opportunity. Felt right. People felt right. Program felt right. You have the resources to win. And the other part, I'll tell you what intrigues you, is I had the ability to work alongside of everybody here, starting with Marty Bell, for creating a vision. You know, our locker rooms are on campus. Our playing high school field is off campus. Our coaches' offices are down the street. So there's some logistics things that eventually down the road in time. I told the guys, if that question was asked to me, it's now. We're gonna go through the process now, put the best product on the field now. It's not a 2-year thing, 3-year thing, 5-year thing. It's a one day at a time thing. Let's do it. Why not us? You see it all around the country. Things happen. I mean, I can look at us at Louisville University, and it wasn't always that way. My last year there, they fired the head coach on the field as a 5th-year senior, and I thought to myself, wow, I came back for this, and how's this going to go? Well, he's the dean of college coaching with a grass field in the Northeast, so playoffs was in 6 inches of mud, no weight room. It was one racquetball court was our weight room. Football complex wasn't built, was small, limited scholarship dollars. At the end of the day, we've beaten teams in that conference with a lot more, and we play in that same league. Here it's more parallel, I think. I like to think, though, the comparable schools, that's the conference that we're in. I think that fits. But, we're going to go for it now. Why not now? We're going to do the best we can, prepare for it. The whole winning comes in a preparation. And we're going to prepare the best we can daily to put the best product on the field after we take care of the little things on campus with school and community and all those important things that are vital. Then the football part of it, we're going to go full steam ahead. Winter conditioning, got to invest. 6 a.m. workouts, weight training 4 days a week, get ready for spring ball. They'll be out on their own outside. Certainly there's NCAA 2A rules about what we can be a part of, what we can't. A great summer camp, and go for it. I mean, you don't know. I was maybe one of 100 applications or whatever we had for this job. I was in the same boat. You sometimes look for head coaches, sometimes look for you don't know. You put your best foot forward and see where it lands. But I told those guys, hey, if you guys start buying in, you start investing, we start doing it the right way, just prepare yourself, then why can't we win this year? But we're only going, I said, it's your team. I'm going to guide you. Our staff's going to guide you. We're going to be close to you. But at the end of the day, you guys step forward. And it's your chance, it's your opportunity.
All right, thank you.
Well, I think that's what we try to find.
I think it's
When
fit.
you look at our staff, I mean, I think he fits in well with our staff and the people we have.
It's fit.
Yep.
All right, Marty. I know the process was an arduous one. I mean, obviously, when resumes start coming in of all ilk, and I'm sure they were impressive. To narrow it down to 4, to winnow it that way was tough. At the end, why was Tom PAJIC the guy?
I think Tom was the guy, Chris, quite frankly, because I thought he was the best fit for our situation. When I say our situation, our university, our current team, where our current team is, where we're headed with the program, with our staff and our department. So I'm thrilled that Tom has joined us and look forward to an exciting time for QU football, moving that program forward into a new era.
People have said this program doesn't put emphasis on football. This is a chance over the last couple of years with what you've done at Flynn, with the hire today, to kind of put your stamp on making football a higher priority. Is that a fair assessment? I
think that's a very fair assessment. I think evidence today that our entire executive leadership team was here and a board member, and there is a true passion for this program to succeed from the institution, and from my chair. And, there are so many lives that are touched on campus by the football program, and we are just excited about where we're headed. And I really feel Tom is the right fit for us at the right time.
You've always said it's about more than wins and losses. This is a guy who can bring you both. I think at the end of what you've come through, isn't that what you were looking for most? Someone who can bring you both wins and losses and all the high character things that distinguish the student athlete.
I really believe that. I really believe that results of wins and losses come as a part of the process. And the process is all the things that he alluded to today. The family approach, what you make them accountable on. You know, it's no different than what I do for my program. And I think, you know, if you put all those things in place, then I think the end results come as a part of that process. So I always feel wins and losses are a result of the amount of work you put in and the emphasis you put in on those things as you're making that journey.
Last one for you, Marty, and it's a hard way to phrase this because I know I don't want to put you in this position, but your program.
But you're going to.
I'm going to. Your program has really lacked an ambassador that you can send out as an ambassador of this institution, as a football, that somebody who represents, I think, all this institution wants to represent. That's something new. That's a very positive thing that this program hasn't had before that you can trot out to sell football, is it not?
Well, I think again, you know, we have a lot of things on the horizon to help this program, and certainly I think Tom will aid in that process. You know, and you know, we always want to put our best foot forward, and I think as we move forward into a new era, Tom gives us a very good opportunity to make those things happen.
All right, Tom, for a gentleman who's going in on a gigantic undertaking, you don't sound the least bit daunted. Just your feelings, I mean, going into this, behind the eight ball a little bit with such a huge rebuilding process ahead. Where are you personally going into this process?
Well, you know what? It forces you to take a step back because there's so much going on. You can't get caught up in everything. You just got to take a day-to-day operation. I told our guys today at the 7 a.m. meeting, we have to win the day, you know, and I have to win the day. So many things, how many hats I have to wear and see so many people. I can't just run. I have to slow down and take those things one day at a time. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready to do all those things. I've done a lot of those things that head coach would be responsible for, and I've seen those things in all the different programs that I've been at. So I have an understanding of it. I'm understanding of how it works with human resources, with admissions, with student affairs, with the athletic director, with budgets. I understand about hiring a staff. It's just different because how do we do it at Quincy, which is in the state of Illinois, with different guidelines and things like that. And that's what the staff will bring me up to speed with. Most important thing is I met with our players at 7 a.m. They know they have a guy in place. So they know when they come back, they're ready to get focused on the season. I think that's important. That was one of the biggest reasons for being here, and the whole media release, and that's a part of it. Team first, media second, everybody else. But I think I'm ready. I think that, you know, if I seem calm with all those comments, it's because I feel good about those things. I have an understanding of those things. And again, you know, my interview process, I told the athletic staff in the greet and meet with the interview candidates, I'm going to have to rely heavily on them. And you know, I'm going to be close with all of them professionally, hopefully socially, and it's a small community, and it reminds me of back home, you know, where Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania is, and that's a big part of the fit. So it's not going to just be Tom PAJIC. It's going to go from Dr. Gervasi, our president, Marty Bell, our athletic director, his support staff, our coaches, the media, you guys. I'm going to need your help. I'm going to rely on you guys. I want to be close to you guys, and you know, this is a great media market, and I want this to be a great look for the community. So the more you guys are around, the better, because I'm hoping, and it's my goal, that we get involved in the community. There's a lot of positive articles. There's a lot of positive media that we're doing so many different things to be great ambassadors, not only as a person, student athlete, but as a university as well.
Got a lot of bridges to build in a short amount of time, to new recruits, to your own players who sometimes feel left out of the process because they're not necessarily coming into this as a Tom PAJIC player.
Sure.
As well as to the community. How do you approach that, Tom? How do you build those bridges, and are you aware of just how much there is in constructing this program in your image?
Sure. I and myself have to re-recruit the guys on campus, and that's imperative because we're going to win with those guys. Sure, we're going to go out and recruit this year, next year, the year after, but there's no reason now that these kids that are in our program, they all have a fair shake. It's a new slate. They're going to be judged and accountable every day, and they're either going to do it or not do it, and they're going to have an opportunity. They have the first opportunity because they're here. So to anybody who wasn't a starter, who thought they should have been playing, here's your opportunity. And if you're a starter, I'm going to look at everybody. There's nobody has a starting position because we're going to find out who gives the best effort, who's accountable, who's in class, academically are doing well, on time for winter workouts and those type of things. So I got to re-recruit those guys. I got to Sounds like I got to re-recruit high school coaches in the state of Illinois. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's about relationships anyway. At the end of the day, for me, I want Quincy University football program to be an option for their high school seniors, because they may have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids that go on to the next level and play. Not all of them can play Division I, 1AA. We're right here. So before you send your player and somebody's son to another school, let's see if they have a fit here. And I'm going to have to sit with those coaches, all of them, and not only just having a conversation with them, but recruiting their kids is another, recruiting's one thing, but building a relationship with those guys. And it's going to be an interview process for me with them as well. And it's about relationships. It's about forging those relationships. It's about trust. And it's about building a great program. I think if they see the product we're putting on the field and the way we act, the way we carry ourselves, why wouldn't you want to be a part of something like that if it's in your backyard?
What do you think, Tom, is the greatest attribute you're going to bring to this rather daunting job, obviously, coming in?
I think the people. I think the people here are great people. I think it's a great fit. We're all very excited, and we're going to win with people. At the end of the day, football is going to take care of itself. Academics going to take care of itself. Community service is going to take care of itself. But in order to be right every day as a person, I think that's the ultimate goal. We'll get to the rest, and that's what I'm here to do. But I'm here to mold those young men with our staff, get them to go in the right direction, and just have a great positive college experience.
Last one for you. There'll be plenty of time to talk football down the road, because I know your feet are barely wet into this program today. But is there a footprint for a Tom PAJIC recruit? Is there somebody that you're specifically looking for, characteristic-wise, that you want to be emblematic of the Quincy University football player?
We're going to recruit young men of high character, great integrity. I'm going to speak to their principals. I'm going to speak to their guidance counselors. I'm going to speak to their teachers. I'm going to stop at a gas station, see if somebody there knows who this young man is. As much information as I can get is going to help close the gap of our success as we get closer. I'm going to find teams that have won state championship games because they know how to win. I'm also going to go to the team that hasn't won very well, because there's going to be somebody there that nobody's going to go and see, that I'm going to go and see that he plays with great effort, plays with great passion, has a love for the game. You find out he's a team captain. You find out he's a great community servant leader. You find out his grades are excellent. You find out he's a step slow or a step too short, but he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. That's the guy I'm going to recruit, because we're going to win with effort. Talent will only get you so far. Talent will get you beat at the end. Potential will get you beat at the end. We're going to recruit great football players. There's no speed. There's no height and weight. There's no ethnicity. There's no where you're from. Do you bring something to our program that will help it be successful because of who you are as a student athlete?